Welcome students. I am Miss Pratiksha Dabolkar, Assistant Professor in Botany from Ganpat Parsekar College of Education, Harmal, Goa. Program Bachelor of Science First Year, Subject Botany, Semester 2, Course Code BOC 102, Course Title Biodiversity 2 Vascular Plants. Title of the unit Gymnosperms, Module name Reproduction in Cycas Part 2. This module focuses on the process of fertilization in cycas. By the end of this module, the student will be able to describe the process of fertilization seen in cycas plant. Before we start with the process of fertilization, we should know that in the previous module, we have been discussing about the male and the female reproductive structures. The male reproductive structure, as I had mentioned before, is the pollen grain. A typical pollen grain consists of a exine, a intine region. Apart from that, it also has got a nucleus. This is the male reproductive structure, which is nothing but the pollen grain. The female reproductive structure is the ovule. It had got the micropyle and the chalazal end. It had got a pollen chamber, as you can see here. It has got archegonial cells and the nucellar tissue. So before understanding the process of fertilization, male and female reproductive organs should be clear. The male is the pollen grain, female is the ovule. Now let us start the process of fertilization. Process of fertilization in cycas begins from pollination, formation of pollen tube, and then the fertilization. The microspores, that is the pollen grain, are light in weight. Since they are light in weight, they are easily carried by wind. When the pollen grains are carried out by wind, we call that process as anemophily. Wind pollination is anemophily. This pollen grain are now caught by a viscous liquid drop secreted by ovule's micropyle end. You can see this is the ovule. You can see there is a small structure which is the micropyle, and if you observe clearly, it is somewhat liquidy in nature. So that is the viscous liquid drop which is secreted by the ovule's micropyle end. The pollination drop is dehydrated and the pollen grain are sucked into the pollen chamber. Now imagine there is this pollen grain. Pollen grains are here, right? They are carried out by the wind. Wind brings and deposits it over here near the micropyle end. The micropyle end is has got a viscous liquid drop around it. Okay. Now what happens? The drop is dehydrated, meaning the water or the moisture which you can see is lost. So once that happens, what happens? The pollen grain gets sucked inside. So what is there? In the first layer, we have got the pollen chamber, right? So the pollen which is sucked inside goes into the pollen chamber. It rests over there for some time. After taking rest in the pollen chamber, the intine grows out of exine and forms a pollen tube. Now what is the meaning of that? We have got this pollen grain. Pollen grain, as I told before, has got the outer exine region and the inner intine region. So what it says over here? the intine grows out of exine. So something like this will appear, right? So the intine will grow out of exine. So this region over here will be somewhat like this, broken. Fine. The pollen tube acts as a hostorium as well as a sperm carrier. Now what is a hostorium? It's a tissue which can help in absorption, in other words, it is the function of the hostoria is basically to take the nourishment from the nucellar tissue. Okay. As well as it is the sperm carrier. I told you it already has got a nucleus. This nucleus will have sperm or the male gametes. The pollen tube elongates and grows into the tissue of the nucellus. So now the pollen grain micropyle has taken the pollen grain inside it. Yes, it has rested in the pollen chamber for some time. From the pollen chamber, the pollen tube has grown. So once the pollen tube grows, what happens? It will give the sperm as well as it will take some nourishment for its growth. The pollen tube elongates and grows into the nucellar tissue. So now it passes the nucellar tissue also. Now, how the fertilization is? The fertilization is siphonogamous. Siphon means nothing but tube-like structure. Basically, siphon is a tube-like structure. So, what do I mean by that? We have got the pollen grain which has been growing. Yes, they are the nucleus tissue, the sperm tissue. The sperm is over here, right? So now what happens? The fertilization is siphonogamous. So this tube-like formation basically is because of that siphonogamous. This tube-like structure is nothing but siphonogamous. Siphon is a tube. The pollen grain reaches the archegonial chamber by pollination. Now this structure is the archegonial chamber. Okay. So now what has happened? The pollen grain was here. The tube has got elongated and now they have been reaching the archegonial chamber. The wall of the pollen grain protrudes towards the archegonial chamber. The pollen grain bursts and releases anthrazoids. So this pollen grain, once it reaches over here, will release anthrazoids. Okay, that is the sperm. So this will be released over here. Anthrazoids enter the oospore. Now when you see the archegonial cell has got an egg cell. So the anthrazoid will fuse with the egg cell. If this is the anthrazoid, it will now fuse with the egg cell. So anthrazoids enters this oosphere or the egg. The male nucleus unites with the oospore nucleus. The fertilized oospore secretes a thick wall and becomes the oospore. So now this entire structure becomes the oospore. And this oospore develops into embryo. So a mature embryo is straight and has a short hypocotyle. The embryonal axis has got plumule, this is the plumule at one end and radicle at the other end. This radicle is covered by coleorhiza. Coleorhiza is a protective covering, okay, basically this is coleorhiza. The number of cotyledons may be 2 to 3. The nucellus is completely absorbed in the seed. Now as the pollen tube was acting as a hostoria, it was taking nourishment from the nucellar tissue. So the nucellus is completely absorbed in the seed. Mature seed is large, ranges from 2.5 to 5 centimeter, and when it is matured, it is orange or red in color. The germination is hypogeal type. These are some of the references which you can refer for your study. Some of the web links. Thank you.